I
Hello,
love that
SisQó.
hair.
I
I
love
love
your whole dragon setup. I wore a dragon. I wore a dragon t-shirt just for
Hey.
you. I understood the
Uh,
assignment.
Also, it's the year of the dragon, so
It is the year of SisQó as well.
Yeah. Hey.
I didn't
Whoop,
have it
whoop.
on my bingo card for this year that I'd hear you singing an Evanescence song. Gotta admit, it was not on my bingo card. I now have the vision of you singing in the shower in my mind. But I'm so happy you went on The Masked Singer because, like, for instance, Rita Ora instantly recognized your voice. And
Mhm.
I don't know if people needed reminding of this or if this was why you went on the show, but I think this show really reminded people that you can sing anything and you're a great singer.
Hey, thank you.
Was that part of the motivation to do this? Because you have a very distinctive tone.
Oh, no, but now that you said it, make sure you write that down, PR. Um,
Okay, will do.
but no, like you said, Rita, I believe Rita knew who I was immediately because she's a musician as well, and then Robin, I think he's also a musician. I think he
Hmm.
knew I think he knew who I was because maybe because I've been to one of his houses before.
One of them.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't know if he still lives in that same house. It was in the hills, but it was a dope house. And Nick knew who I was because we worked together before. So as soon as I came out, I go to commercial break, and Nick is like, "You crazy boy." So he knew me
Well,
before I even said anything. He knew me from just the way, just my walk.
Well, one thing also I remember because I watch a lot of reality TV. I love it all, and I remember when you were on Gone Country, just to show
Yeah.
that people could say anything. And I think it's
Hey,
interesting.
I got a golden plaque for that. I didn't mean to cut you off for that.
No, what a golden plaque for Gone Country?
Yeah, at the time, it was the highest rated reality show in country music channel history. So we got a plaque for that.
Oh, very cool. Well, it kind of all ties in because your old friend, your old co-host, Beyonce
Mhm.
just dropped Cowboy Carter. So she just dropped a
I know,
country
right?
record.
I
So
know, right?
now you're on TV singing Evanescence, which brought me back to remembering Gone Country. So I'd love to talk with you if you have any thoughts about the idea of genre, being
Um,
limiting and how genre should not be, no one should, the lizard should not be put in a box.
thank you. I mean, the Wild Wild West definitely doesn't categorize itself as a country song. But I thought I rocked that cowboy hat pretty well. And I got away unslapped, so it's all good. Let me say, but no, I've always my favorite genre of music is classical, and
Oh,
so I've always done the best that I can to kind of blur the lines between these quote unquote different genres. And then when we did Gone Country, and I was up there with the different artists, I realized that the whole city for one can just pretty much strike up one big band. And then something else that I noticed to me, um, country music has a lot more soul than I knew. Because my grandfather used to like country music, but I had never listened to it. And I kind of was privy to it when we did that show. I had an opportunity to hear it, and I was like, if you switch that instrument with that instrument, then that would be an R&B song. And then switch the word my dog to my baby, and bam, we got a hit.
or my horse,
Right, my
horse,
horse.
my cow. I don't know.
Right.
You did a country song with Marie Osmond.
I did.
Again, not something I would ever have had on my bingo card for that year, 2016, I think it was. How did that come about?
Oh man, I was literally when I worked with Marie Osmond, I was I had a residency with with a sexy show in Vegas. And at the time, I was recording music for my then first EP, Genesis.
Mm.
We just so happened to be recording in the same studio using the same engineer. So when she came in, when we were alternating studio times, she was talking to the engineer. The engineer told her he was working with. I think it was Damon, and um, she asked him, could we work together? And I was like, I didn't even know she knew who I was. But but I was like, for me, it's always been about the music, and uh, to be honest, if the music came through and I didn't respect it, then I would have respectfully declined. But I did like because I can't, I wouldn't be able to sing with such an iconic artist like Marie Osmond. And I can fake it. I can fake it with my boy band, but you can't fake it with the legend. You know what I mean? So I was like, if I don't really love the song, I don't know. I wouldn't want to taint the image of all the hard work that she's done and us doing something together. I would want it to represent both of us in the best way, and I thought it did. So it's called a good song. So you can look that up anywhere digital music is sold.
It's interesting that because we're sort of talking about country stuff, but then you mentioned classical. Have you ever done or wanted to do anything like that? Like SisQó with an orchestra or like your songs reimagined with an orchestra? Have you ever, has that, I mean, obviously that sounds kind of
No,
bizarre,
no,
but not,
no. It
but
would be awesome. It would be awesome because we had live instruments on our music throughout our career. Um, uh, like when I went and got those string players for Thong Song, I hired them from Star Wars. They were playing. I believe they were playing in the symphony orchestra, or they had played on Star Wars before.
oh
And
wow.
so that's why they were so precision that it sounds like a sample, but that's live.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I would love to do an orchestra. Um, fun fact about orchestrated music, when you're doing up tempos, it's like it's difficult to keep as syncopated as you need to be. However, if we were ever to do it, I'm sure it'll be with a top notch orchestra.
That or that string part in Thong Song, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken, it was actually inspired by Eleanor Rigby, wasn't it? From the Beatles.
Correct. Well, no, initially it was a whole sample of Eleanor Rigby, and being in the music industry, and like I told you, or I don't know if I told you, but before I had worked on my solo stuff, I was singing with my boy band Drew Hill,
Mhm.
and so we had already gone platinum, and there was a song that I did. The first platinum single that I wrote for somebody outside of my boy band was Maya. So I wrote her first two singles,
Mm.
and somebody messed up in the studio and put like left a we had a sample in the song, and when we sent the song to go get mastered, they left the sample in there, and I had no idea that it was in there. So once the song hit platinum, the writers of the original song that was sampled came after us and took 99.9% of the record. And so, needless to say, from that moment on forward, I was like, I'm never sampling again. Plus, I didn't want to have to, pay Michael Jackson for the thong song. I mean,
Or right, because he had the Beatles catalog too. Do the Beatles know that? I mean, have you ever met Paul McCartney or Ringo Starr and had a chance to say, like, hey, in some small kind of roundabout way, you
oh,
inspired
I
the
would
Thong Song?
love to though. I would love to, man. I mean, I would love to meet one of the Beatles, because their music is really good. I really like the chord progressions and stuff. But hey, speaking of legendary artists that I work with outside of the hip hop and R&B side, we also work with Sir Elton John on a song from the Aida soundtrack, and that's a live band on there too. So
Oh,
you can look out. It was called Enchantment Passing Through, and he sent it to us, and then we did our own arrangement.
that's
It was
so
awesome.
cool. It's funny because you were joking a few minutes ago about like how you didn't, you were surprised that Marie Osmond knew who you were or whatever, but lots of people knew who
Uh,
you were. And did you see Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers tweet a couple months ago?
yes,
Well,
yes,
I'll
I
read it.
love that.
The great thing
I
about the
love that.
thong song is you can really feel his earnest yearning to see that thong. And that was just random in like late 23. Flea just tweets that
Yeah, I
without
remember that.
I don't know what inspired it. I don't know, but like, was your reaction? Because
I
actually,
loved it.
kind of
I
was.
think I retweeted it. I think I retweeted that. Shout out to the Chili Peppers and Flea. Because we've been on a couple of shows together back in the day. When some of those festivals and stuff. And man, I've just always been a fan of their music and their vibe. They clearly are. The Chili Peppers are clearly all about vibes, man. It seemed like they just go in there and vibe out and come out with a hit.
He had a point though. I mean, obviously that song was a huge hit, your biggest hit, your kind of like your iconic hit. But like, did he have kind of a point? It was more than it was just like lyrically, there were like the earnestness of the delivery. I don't know. It was almost like he was critiquing the song in a kind of an academic way, like getting to the heart of its appeal. You know what I
You
mean?
know, it's funny because the song is Thong Song is complex simplicity. It's 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 way more complicated than it seems. It's a
Hmm.
lot of musical changes. Like I said, it's live instruments. There's a modulation. Uh, and so when I came up with the song, um, I kept all of the verses the same to keep it simple so that all the complexity in the back wouldn't overwhelm the ear.
Interesting. And then you
So
mentioned
what
Michael.
so it's the music, it was the musicality going on there.
No, a lot of the biggest hits, biggest pop, top 10
Mhm.
number one hits might seem simple on their surface, but
Mm.
how come you didn't have any thong clues on The Masked Singer? Was it just like if you said something about thong, it would
the,
be like all
the
bets are off?
Masked Singer is a family show. Nobody tries to see something about some women's underwear. Well, I never.
I feel like there could be a Masked Singer character called the Thong. That's just like it's like a thong with legs. Maybe
Oh
not.
my
Maybe
goodness.
if it aired
Wait,
later.
yeah. It
Not
would
if it
be.
aired
Wait,
at 8
wait.
p.m.
I gotta get something real quick.
Okay.
Somebody brought this to the concert.
Oh, the heart lollipop. That was the how many licks clue.
Bro, I could not believe it. I was like, man, this show is really big. Like I said, I don't know if I told you, but I'm here in London, like right across the street from Wembley OVO, because we performed there the other night.
Oh,
And
cool.
somebody like brought me. Of course they threw some thongs on the stage. I'm glad she handed me this because it's like, ah!
So people watch The Masked Singer because there is a UK version. Rita Ora is on when that's running, she's on that one too. But they
Oh,
watch
for
the
real?
yeah,
Damn,
I've
they need to make me a judge then.
oh my God. Like I don't understand why you're not doing more TV. You're obviously like, the minute you hopped on this Zoom, you were ready to go. You're like
Yeah,
great on camera. You did do
thank you.
hosting stuff back in the day. I remember what was the
Mhm.
show or the award show you hosted with Beyonce? Like,
Oh, that was the MTV Movie Awards.
okay, yes, I remember that. So like, yeah, so yeah, is that something? Obviously, you've done a lot of reality TV. We mentioned Gun Country, you just did The Masked Singer, but what about hosting
I,
and judging and things like that?
hey, well, I've been kind of in the Dragon's Lair over the past several years because by me owning my own masters, I
Mm,
after I got to like a certain point in my life, I kind of wasn't really into the whole like that's why a lot of times they say that the industry is for like younger artists because it's like a lot of just rigorous work that you have to do in order to pull it off. And I was basically just getting back to the singing portion of it, just like when comedians when they take a break, they a
yeah.
lot of times go and do like live sets and stuff. So I
Hmm.
was kind of doing that, and then when this came along, this opportunity with the Masked Singer, I had learned so much from the show that I was like, almost immediately after I left the show, I told my team, "Hey man, I think I want to put out some new music." And I literally just started making some new music. So now you can look out for some new music from me. It's going to be the second in a series. The first one's called Genesis. You can get it anywhere digital music is sold right now. And the second one is called Exodus. And of course, the next one's going to be Revelation. But this one they're working on is called Exodus. And I'm working with Maya again. So it's like the
Really?
continuation of the first song I wrote for her.
No samples this time.
No samples. I don't do nobody's samples.
No samples. Well, that's gonna really blow up, I think, because I wonder what you think of, for lack of a better way of putting it, this kind of Y2K revival that's happening. I'm seeing fashions out there where I'm like, oh my God, I saw that in TRL back in the day. Like,
I
I'm
know.
hearing the
My
sounds
bad.
coming back.
Yeah, my bad for everybody's hair being dyed blonde. I apologize.
Are you, I mean, how does it feel to see, yeah, looks that were iconic for you and your peers and sounds coming
Oh,
back?
I was happy when they left. I couldn't, man. I looked at some of the stuff from back then, and I'm like, Lord, like the big giant oversized clothes and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
The visible thongs coming back would probably be good for you.
Hey, well, now that I can get with. Because the funny thing about it is, you were talking about when I hosted the MTV Movie Awards with Beyonce, and you would think that I would remember the Beyonce part, but I remember that Holly Berry showed up, and she had her thong showing, and I'm standing next to Beyonce, and she like, "Hi, SisQó," and I'm like, "Hi, Holly." It was a moment. It was a moment.
Absolutely.
I actually put her name in a song that I wrote called A List.
Okay. I have to, I seem to recall that. It was like, yeah, that was, I remember the look. I think she was wearing purple. It was like,
Yep.
and the
It was like a
thongs were meant to
mini,
show.
and all this was out, and
Well,
yeah, she was with Eric Benet that day though, and I'm cool with him though. So,
got it.
but we had a moment, we locked on. I mean, eyes.
Thongs are coming back. I actually don't know why I have this information in my head, but I do remember reading that sales of thongs were down at Victoria's Secret and other stores because for whatever reason people were buying
Mhm.
other types of underwear. But like now you're not just they're seeing them. You're seeing the like, above the waistline
Really?
look, again, the
Oh,
Holly look. Yeah. So that could work
yeah.
to
Hey, I
your
was trying to
advantage.
sell them before, but when we went to go meet with Victoria's Secret, they was like, "We would like to work with you, but sales of thongs are already up 80%. But here's some free merchandise." I was just like,
They need you now because now there's this Y2K revival of thongs. But it's
there you
interesting because
go.
you were saying you sort of were in the dragon's lair or whatever. I've read that, not that you took a hiatus, but that you sort of retreated from the music business a bit because like you wouldn't play the game. Like something, what happened?
Uh, just probably, you have to learn how to play the game, and the music industry game is uh it's a delicate balance between respect and disrespect, and ego and confidence, and you gotta know how to balance that, when to turn it on, when to turn it off, and but let me just put it this way. Um, it's not ironic that for over the past like 15 years, artists have been saying they want to own their masters.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that.
Well, you own yours now? Is that this or
I've
is that
been
a
on my masters. That's probably the reason why I had to go to the Dragons later. It's like he
so
messing up the game. They need to put him
did
away.
you always own them or did you have to go fight for
Yes.
them? You owned them from the
No.
beginning.
Yeah. For all my solo stuff. So like, cause I sold my album. I did my album with my own money and sold it back to the label.
So you own the masters for Unleash the Dragon, for Thong Song, for everything?
Yep.
How did you that now artists know that that's something they should probably be doing, but Taylor
Yeah. Who
Swift
you
and
who you
people
think
like
they
that.
learned it from? I learned it from Michael Jackson and Prince and Ray Charles. And they learned it from me, and they was like, shh, we need to shush him. Somebody go shush him.
I don't know if you've gotten enough credit. I mean, everyone talks about Taylor Swift, and good for her that she's doing what she's doing. But like, yeah, people I don't think in the late
I don't
90s,
think they
early
know.
2000s knew.
Nah, it's a lot of things they don't know, but I guess I'll save that for the movie.
Are you really doing a SisQó movie?
Oh no,
Yeah, you should. You actually should.
but talking about it with you though is making me think. I mean, who would play me?
Well,
A
we could
white
figure
kid.
that out.
Gotta get some
Someone
blue
will.
eyed soul in there.
Someone willing to bleach their hair. Did Michael Jackson, I know you have a friendship with him and, that's, or you did, like he flew you out and all that stuff. Did he give you the advice about the master stuff?
Yes, him and Prince, ironically, because Prince and my group Drew Hill had the same management.
What did they say?
I mean, no, it wasn't the same management, it was the same lawyer.
What was the
And
conversation or what did they say to you?
the conversation was, hey Prince, can we do a song together? And he was like, hey SisQó, do you own your masters? I was like, no. He was like, holla at me when you do. I was like, all right. So when I went to go do my solo project, I made sure that I did enough work because let's not get it twisted. Like you can't walk into a label if you didn't write and produce the music and start asking, for specific things. That wouldn't be playing the game now, would it?
Did the Prince collaboration ever, how far did that come along?
No, it never happened because by the time I was owning my masters, that was kind of around the time that I started hanging out with Michael Jackson, and I think they had like a kind of frenemy kind of relationship. So there you go.
There you go. Well, I should probably let you go. There's so much to cover. You do need to have a movie or a book. Have you ever? I know you've written a Christmas book, but like, have you considered, or are you writing a memoir or anything like that?
We dabbled in it, but it was like I said, the most difficult part is figuring out who will play me. But it looked like they got a baby version of me on Good Times. Did you see that? It's like a new Good Times animated show. And
I
it's a
gotta
little
check that out.
baby. A little baby. It looked like a baby version of it. I took a picture of it today. I was like, is that me?
I gotta check that out. But yeah, you gotta write the book. Then the movie
For
will come
sure.
after the book. But absolutely and so when is this new music coming out that you're doing with and with Maya and solo before I let you go?
You can definitely look for some new music. That's not gonna be the first single. But she is on the project, and this as soon as the heat breaks, because that's I've got a lot of success with putting music out when it's when the weather breaks. So right around late spring, early summer, you should be hearing something.
Prime thong weather.
Exactly that.
Awesome. Perfect timing. Well, congratulations on everything you've got going on. It's always so wonderful to talk to you. You're just a delight. I look for the book, the movie, the TV show,
Thank you. Are you
online.
writing the book? You gonna write the book?
Well, maybe you and I will talk offline. Maybe I can help you
There
write
we
yours.
go. There we
Your
go.
story's more interesting than mine. But in the meantime, have a wonderful day out there in London, and it was lovely to chat with you.
Thank you so much. Same here.
Thanks.